Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another cool pinball repair video for you this evening. We have been working on this Bally Supersonic Pinball Machine from about 1979. And we had a friend pick this thing up for us very inexpensively. And when we got it, we figured out that, well, we already knew that there were two boards missing from it. We started working on the other boards and figured out that there was a short in one of the boards that had fried every chip, well, pretty much every chip on everything electronic in the game. So we have slowly been going through and fixing all of that, and we've actually got it up and running. But now we started working on the playfield because the playfield is also completely destroyed. This is actually better than it was in some ways, because in the last video we cleaned it up to prepare it for trying to repair the wear on it. Now, we are not going to be able to get this to a 10 back to factory original shape or anything like that. Like I said, it's from 1979, so it's 46 years old at this point. But we can get a heck of a lot better than this. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to mess around with the playfield a little bit. This thing doesn't really have art on it. Almost, well, pretty much all of it is just geometric shapes. So essentially the way we repair them when we hand repaint them is we just treat them like a big coloring book. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a black acrylic paint pen and start inking the lines back in that are missing from it. Once I do that, it'll kind of define the space to where we can be aware of where the colors start and where the colors stop. So for instance, they were also silk screened, so if you look at them, there's only a couple colors actually involved. So you have a blue that's used in several spots. You have a yellow that's used in several spots. You have an orange that's used in just a few spots. That's 3. You have a red that's used in a few spots. That's 4. And then you have this maroon looking color. That's 5. And then you have white, which is kind of like a cream. That's 6. And then you have black. That's 7. So there's only 7 colors. So it looks like, oh, it's impossible to restore it. And I don't even know if I want to use the word restore, but it's not that big of a deal. Come on, people. It's not that big. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. So it looks like to me the easiest one to do is going to be the blue, because it's only used in a few spots. It's this big area in the middle, but that's it, you know, and a little bit up there. And then the red is not that serious, and the orange is not that serious. And then if you look at it, there's really not that much yellow. And then once you do all that, there's really not that much. It's no big deal, people. That's what I'm saying. All right, so let me get the acrylic ink pen. Now, the reason we use acrylic is because when we're done, we're going to clear coat the thing, and acrylic is just really easy to clean up. It's really easy to touch up. It's really easy to mix. It's really easy to spray over. So whenever we use just rattle can spray paint, it goes over acrylic paint very well. If you were to use oil-based paint and then spray paint over it, the catalyst in the spray paint sometimes reacts with the oil-based paint and causes problems. So a Sharpie, for instance, big freaking no-no. So when we do these black lines, we're not going to use a Sharpie. We're going to use a black acrylic paint pen. So let me go get that. Okay, so I think we did pretty decent. You saw what I did. So this little arc over here, I just drew in freehand. When you're doing a arc like that, and it's as if you freehand it. If you want to like trace it out and project it and all that, you can do that too. But if you're doing it freehand, like I'm left-handed, but it would be the same for a right-handed. If I take a pen and try to draw an arc like that, that's hard to do. Right? So if I try to do this, that's hard because it's not natural. It's not how your arm moves. So, but if I take a pen and try to do this, it's very natural. It's a lot easier. So you can get a smoother line doing that. So when you're doing it, you know, you might want to, if you come over here, it's easier to do the arcs. It just depends on which side. But like if I'm doing this, it would be easier to be here to do it. And I was trying not to block the camera as much as I could. The stars were the hardest part. Still not positive on that one. It's a little off. I could point out what's off about it, remember too, these lines, some of them are too thick, but I'm going to paint right up to them on both sides so I can thicken and thin the line. And you can also use that to move the line slightly if you're trying to make it a little better. But basically, most of the missing art is back. I'm looking at the numbering down here too, and I like that because it's just block really easy. So I might be able to get that where it looks at least halfway presentable. We'll see. These ones where it's too, like it's cream and black, those are going to be the hardest. And these here, I guess it'll be hard for me to get that to look right. But I got that star pretty nice. It's a little off. Again, I could point out what's wrong with it, but I'd rather not. I might be able to fix it a little bit with the paint. And I wanted to point out too that when they put these protectors on, it already had wear on it. So that is under the protector, so that's going to just stay like that. But that's fine, it's not too bad. And the two S's I got pretty symmetrical. They're not perfect, but that's pretty good. I think a lot of people won't be able to tell once we get all the paint on it. Now, there's more stuff up here, like lines and stuff, but they're not as, you know, this was the part that I was concerned about, getting the art back where you could kind of tell what was going on. And I think I did pretty good. This is a little off. I might arc it out a little bit more. Yeah, I might do that. The bottom one looks pretty good. Or maybe the bottom one's too big. I don't know. People, you know, the enemy of good enough, perfection is only the enemy of good enough. It's good enough. Okay, so I'm trying to think what color we want to do. Maybe we do orange first, because it might be the easiest. Sometimes you have an orange right out of the bottle that just matches. So let me get my oranges and see if there's any that are even close. And then we can if we have to, we can just paint everything orange. Like if it's a little bit off, just paint everything, and then it's not off anymore. Okay, folks, so we're going to do the orange. What I did first, though, was I did the cream. And the reason that I did that was because the orange is such a thin color. It's hard to paint it over just bare wood. It's going to take 10 coats. You kind of need a primer. So I got some of the buttermilk paint that I have, put a little bit of green in it, made it a little more green, and then painted it on the Playfield. So I went ahead and did the parts that are supposed to have it, like that and that. And then I also used it in the lighter parts, the yellow and the orange, where it was down to the wood. So just to kind of give it a primer. On the burgundy and the blue, you don't have to worry about it because it's, I guess we'll see about the red. I think I've got a red that's thick enough though that it'll cover it. And if not, I can put more primer on it. But you've got to get, I didn't do the yellow in the middle, so I will be doing more primer. You've got to get something on there just to build up the paint, because what'll happen is you'll go ahead and put your orange on, and you'll see the wood grain area, and you'll still see the grain. One coat, then you do the second coat, you can still kind of see the grain, and then you do the third coat, and where the original paint was there, next to it's lighter, and you just fight it. So we'll see if that happens here. So why didn't I use white? Well, just my thought process. I might as well do the This was white, but it's faded now, right? It's turned green. So I went ahead and just kind of mixed up a concoction that's similar to what's on there. Everything on it white is no longer white. The whole playfield has kind of greened. There's like a green haze over it. It's kind of, once you see it, you kind of get it. I used to think that it was yellow, but it's not yellow, it's green. So everything has turned a little bit more green. The reason that that has happened is because it's not the clear. A lot of the clear is gone. It's not nicotine, which a lot of people think. What's going on is all of the red has faded, and the opposite of red on the color wheel is green. So everything looks more green because all of the red has faded. So, and it's not, you know, there's red in everything. So even the blue has a little bit of red in it. So the blue has faded more green. The burgundy has faded more green. The orange has faded more green. And if you get good with color, you kind of see it. You can kind of see it with your eye. So oftentimes whenever I'm trying to mix a color that matches or is close to the faded color, I'll add a little green to it because it'll just kind of push it towards that. Now it's not really a perfect way of doing it because it's not really that everything's more green, it's that everything's less red, but you can't make paint less red, you know, so you kind of use green since it's across from it on the color wheel to try to push it that way. I left the S how it was. I thought that was close enough. I like it like that. I think it looks great. I'm going to leave it. It's not perfect, but I'm happy with it. So I've got several oranges here. And again, the orange is a little more green than it would have originally been. So I've got this one, which is a really bright one. On the camera here, it looks like that's similar, but here to my naked eye, it does not look similar. Now, I have noticed in the past that however it looks on the camera, once you clear it, it kind of comes out that way. So I don't know. But this one is so bright, I just think it's too bright. So it's Orange Flame. So we're not going to go with that. So then I have this bad boy. This is called Warm Sunset. And to me, it's a little bit dull. Like it just doesn't look, it doesn't have the vibrance that the original orange had. That's just my opinion. Oh, another thing. If you start with paint that's too dull, like it doesn't look vivid enough, it doesn't jump out enough, you can't fix that by mixing acrylic paint. It's just never going to do it unless there's some way I haven't figured out. So it's better, it would be better to take like this Orange Flame that's just too vivid and mix something else into it to make it less vivid. You can't make it brighter. Like I mean, you can make it lighter, but you can't make it brighter, if that makes any sense. And it's all like an art, you know, so you're not going to get everything perfect. Okay, so this is bright orange. We actually use this on a lot of stuff. And it looks kind of similar, but it's a little bit too bright, I think. It's just not quite as dark as it should be. Now, when we're looking at like the bottom of the bottle, you're looking right at the paint. But it actually, once it dries, it will be a little bit darker than that. Because it's wet paint. And you're looking at it through this plastic, which gives it just a slightly cloudy look, so it slightly lightens it. So I just, you know, just to quickly kind of decide which way I want to go, I just look at the bottom and say, is that close? And if it's close, we go with it. So that leaves me with these two. I don't know which one to pick. This is Canyon Orange. Now, at first look, it looks kind of dull. But if you look at it compared to the Playfield, I can't turn it upside down because I got the top off. And I'm about out of it too, by the way. If you look at it compared to the Playfield, it's very similar. So that might be one. Here's the lid with some dried paint on it. Again, on the camera it looks a little different, but here to my naked eye it looks almost exact. So I don't know, should I trust the camera or my eye? I think I've trusted my eye before and the camera actually told the true story. So this is Jack-o'-lantern Orange. We have used this on a lot of stuff too. And same thing, at first it kind of looks a little bit too light. But if you look at the paint in the lid, it's similar. So your best bet, if you can do it, is to get, ooh, thunder. Your best bet, if you can do it, is to get a paint that is close right out of the bottle. preferably grate right out of the bottle. All right, so there's a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a little light. So maybe we'll try this if it's not all dried up. If there's anything left in here. Have we got anything in there? I think we do. So maybe we'll try some of that, and we'll just test it and just see how it looks on the playfield next to the other orange that's already there. See if it looks similar, and we'll go from there. All right, so I painted the T with it, just one quick coat. On the camera here it looks almost exact. Here to my naked eye it's a little lighter, but the problem is where they've got those Mylar discs, it's going to look different no matter what. Like compare that red, which is the original red, with that red, which is the original red. Like compare that red and that red. Are they the same? No, they're different, and it's always going to be like that. So I don't know that I can get it perfect, but I will say, where it's drying, where it's not painted over the lighter primer, where it's painted over the well, I don't know, I can't remember if that was the actual orange or if that was missing. But it looks about the right color here. Just over here you're seeing some of that primer through it, so it looks a little lighter. Also, whenever you clear it, it will make it just slightly darker too. But it's going to do everything like that. So whenever I spray it clear, it's going to darken up everything. So theoretically, if you were like, we've got this and this are two different colors right now, because that's my replacement color, but I didn't do that one because it was fine, right? So when I clear it, that's going to darken up a little bit, but that's going to darken up a little bit too. It's not going to like just darken one to where it looks more like the other, unless you only clear that part. So yeah, I think that's the right color. I'm going to roll with this, and I just need to put extra coats on it. I did this little part over here too, just for the giggles, and it's the same thing. It's got white primer behind it, so you can kind of see it. One of our viewers mentioned, what, did they nail the outlane open? Yes, it appears they did. That nailed, this just goes on that side of the nail. It's supposed to, the nail stops it, but they have it behind the nail so that the outlane is always open, because people like to cheat. Dastardly. Okay, so I did the orange. There's not much really that's orange. So there was a little touch up over here. Again, we need to ink the lines back in, and we need to clear coat it. There was some orange here. I didn't do the whole orange on the right because I think it'll cover up pretty well the touch-ups once I put the black lines in and put the text back on. And then the one on the left, same thing. You've got that arrow there that's going to, you know, really clean everything up. This one. And this one, that may actually be the worst looking one, but it's hid. And I touched up over here a little bit, and a couple little spots down here. So this thing is so bad that I'm going to end up having to clear coat everything on the playfield. But so next up, we need to go back over the black lines and ink these circles in to make that look nice. Let's see here, lines there, line up there. A little bit of lines there, lines there, lines there, lines up there, lines up there. That one up there I didn't touch. All right, so a little bit of black ink. Alright folks, so I have got the orange on. I think I got all of it. It dried pretty good in my opinion. I mean, I think that's pretty freaking close. And then I re-inked the little circles around the lights. I just did it by hand. You saw me doing the little 5X over there. And yes, I know the X is sans serif. I don't know. I think that's just how it is. I don't know. I guess the 2 isn't though. Whatever. It's our happy little accident. And then this over here I re-inked. I think it came out decent. Not completely done with it, but I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put some clear on just the parts that I've repainted, just the orange basically, because I want to lock that in. I think I got this really good. I think I'm kind of surprised that it came out that good, to be honest. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that. Whenever you clear something, it's so thin. Yeah, it's like certain microns and stuff, but it's so thin your eye cannot see the thickness of the paint. So like if I clear this and then we go back and we paint red on top of the clear, which we will, you're not going to see like a depth problem where the red looks higher than the orange or anything. It's so minor and minuscule you can't tell. Some of the really high-end guys that are really good at this, that do very professional ones, whenever they repaint like a little area on a playfield, and these are the more modern machines that have artwork, you know, and they'll use an airbrush and stuff. Whenever they repaint something like an Addams Family playfield or something, they'll do it like that. They'll do one color and then clear it, and then sand it, and then do another color and clear it and sand it, another color and clear it and sand it. After you clear it, if you sand it, you can get it flat and get rid of all your brush strokes and all that. I usually don't go that far because, again, we've got the problem where, we're trying not to spend 50 hours doing it, even if I had the skill to do it. So I'm not going to worry about that or that, but I'm going to clear this. I'm going to clear that one part. I just said I'm not going to worry about it, but I'm going to clear those, that, and then I'm going to clear this, and I'm going to go ahead and clear that. It's not done, but I got that 5 pretty good, so I want to keep it. And the reason for that is, this is acrylic paint. So if I touch it, it's going to darken it up a little bit. You can actually just rub it off. I mean, it's got to have something over it because it's water-based. So that'll show you, though, how the colors differ after you put clear on it. So this is what it looks like right now. I'm going to just spray some rattle can clear on it. Satin finish. I'm not going to do the whole thing, just a few spots, and then we'll look at it after it dries here after a few minutes. Alright, so that's with the clear sprayed on. Now, one of the problems that I run into with the way I do it is you can see brush strokes. So you can really, what's going on is you can see the light reflecting off the brush strokes. So if you let the sheen hit it, the light hit it, you can see where the brush strokes are. The way you get rid of that is you sand it, like I was talking about. So on yours, you may want to do that. You don't have to sand. It's not that you have to sand the orange paint back down. It's once you clear it, now it's thicker, and so you sand it, and you're basically getting rid of. You'll have thicker clear where the valleys and the brush strokes are. It'll just smooth it all out. And because you can't actually see the actual brush stroke, you're just seeing the light reflecting off the different thickness of the paint. So if you spray clear on it and then sand it, and sometimes you got to do it like 6 times, eventually you'll get it perfectly flat and you won't see any brush strokes. I think it's pretty good. I'm happy with it. Like I said, it's not going to be a 10. So there you go, folks. That's so far. Next time we'll do another color and another color and another color, and we'll get it where it's all in. So we got it all inked in, the basics inked in. We got the orange pretty much done. We've got the cream color, pretty much done. Needs a little bit of trim work. I guess I could have done that one too. So we got most of the cream done. We still have the red, the yellow, the burgundy, and the blue. But that's not that bad. To be honest, I thought the SST was going to come out a lot worse than it did. I think it looks really pretty good, all things considered. It was completely missing. You understand that, right? You remember that, right? that wasn't even there. So, you know, I think pretty good. Let me know what you think down below. If you want to see another video of us doing one of these repaints, one of the craziest ones we ever did was a Stern Flight 2000, one of my favorite games. Absolutely destroyed. So check this video out. But we'll see you back here in a couple days with the next installment of our Supersonic here. Hope you enjoyed it.